I couldn't resist today. February 13th, 2022. We're at Babylon Station. Gonna film some Montauk branch trains today in the snow. Not a deep snow, 2 or 3 inches maybe. At least I can navigate through it easily. This kind of snow I don't mind. It's easy to manage, easy to drive around in, and it's pretty. Well, 12:17, here come train 6130 arriving Babylon from New York on track 2. That's a pretty sight as we look west from the platform at Babylon. Time is 12:22. The Z trains are running from Babylon to Hicksville. This is 9251 departing for Hicksville. Be switching on to the Central branch shortly to head up to Hicksville. They're doing track work between Hicksville and Jamaica. And here's train 6103 arriving. It's a local for New York. My wife and my granddaughter are going to be boarding this train heading for New York City.
1225 westbound train to Penn Station, now boarding on track 1. 1225 westbound.
With the Z trains running,
now boarding track 1.
There's a lot of extra trains running out of here to New York, so they have local public address announcements with human beings talking, not computerized voices. It's 12:25, 6103 is headed for New York. All right, time is 12:43. Should have 3 eastbound trains arriving. First one is 6032 from New York to Babylon, followed by 9250 Hicksville to Babylon, and 8710 Jamaica to Montauk. 6032 is arriving on track number 3. Approaching at 12:45 is train 8710 from Jamaica to Montauk. It's a little early. 9250 from Hicksville was supposed to get in ahead of this guy. He's approaching. I can hear his K5 LLA horn blowing for the Central Branch crossings. He has number 413 on the point. This guy has 501 on the point. Is train 7051. That's one of those extra trains that are running because of the Z train schedules. He has to wait for 9250 to come in and receive their passengers before he can leave. Well, 1250, here comes 9250 from Hicksville. He's running a little late today. He's got a K5 LLA horn on him, but I don't think he'll be blowing it here. And 1253, 7051 is off to New York. We moved east to Brightwaters to catch 8737. Speonk to Babylon at 109. Just past the Windsor Avenue grade crossing here in Brightwaters. Looks like a very Christmas card-like setting here. When it snows, a lot of people do this with their windshield wipers. It's kind of a risky proposition from what I've been told, and I've been guilty of doing this myself, but supposedly, although it's not that windy right now, when we had that blizzard 2 weeks ago, it was very windy. You run a risk of having these wiper blade orbs banging against your windshield and breaking it. So a lot of times they don't recommend doing this. It's supposed to snow of varying intensities for the rest of the afternoon into the early evening. Makes it look mighty pretty. It's not terribly cold. It's about freezing right now. As you'll notice, the pavement, the snow is not sticking to the paved surfaces. So that helps. But it's supposed to get very cold tonight, down into the teens by early tomorrow morning. And approaching Brightwaters at 126 is train 8766 from Babylon to Patchogue. D30AC number 416 with a rather meek and mild-mannered K5LA. Time is 1:42, approaching his 8763. He just pulled out of Bayshore en route from Patchogue to Jamaica. And I can even tolerate a C3 horn in this beautiful winter-like setting. Taking it easy. He's got a delay and block out of Bayshore till he sees the next signal, which might be kind of difficult to see in the snow. Shoved by a rather filthy D30AC 415. And that horn definitely rattled a couple of fillings in my mouth. And we move further east of Bayshore. We're at the Brentwood Road crossing. Gates just went down at 223. 8768 is due with engine 416, but that can't be 416. The app said it was 416, but that obviously was not. That was 515 DM30AC. The information on the app is not always correct. We move further east to Saxon Avenue crossing between Bayshore and Islip. Catch 8739 from Speonk to Babylon. Time is 2:51 p.m. And shoving on the rear of this should be engine 423. He has a K5 LLA. We should see him later on. Well, here I'm at a crossing in Islip that I just had to go to, a guy like me, Irish Lane. It's actually bordering Islip and East Islip. And at 3:35, the gates are going down at Irish Lane for train 8736 en route from Jamaica to Speonk. Today he's going to be double-ended. He's got 516 on the east end and 508 on the west end. At 3:47, we're still at Irish Lane as the flakes are flying once again. Like I said, it's been varying intensity, some moderate, some light, but nothing too heavy, nothing too heavy. Hard to believe, yesterday it was almost 60 degrees here. Just a reminder that it is still winter time. Now here comes 8765 en route from Patchogue to Babylon. Okay, we move further east quite a bit to Bayport. This is the Bayport Avenue crossing. It's the east end of a long straightaway through Crossing Bell Alley. Lots of railroad crossings. Gonna catch 8772 from Babylon to Patchogue with DE30AC number 416 with probably one of the worst horns of any diesel. But at least Sauerkraut will be piling in the train and maybe he can work some magic with that horn. All right, 8772 is coming. A senior citizen guy pulled up in a car and he was concerned that I was going to try to kill myself here. I said, I have too much to live for being a rail fan. So, all right, Sauerkraut, do your stuff. And we move further west in Bayport to the McConnell Avenue crossing. We're at the west end of Crossing Bell Alley. And at 5:15, we're waiting for train 8709 en route from Montauk to Jamaica, blowing through Bayport with all the railroad crossings. Kind of modest horn blowing there, but created a nice little blizzard of its own. Next stop, Jamaica for him. Sauerkraut will be next on 8769 Patchogue to Jamaica, where I expect a much improved horn performance. Yeah, time is 5:26. Here comes 8769 from Patchogue to Jamaica. Time for some C3 horn torture from Sauerkraut. Again, a person stopped by and asked if I was okay. I don't know. They must have suicidal thoughts in this neighborhood. The one guy who stopped at Bayport Avenue said that there have been issues there. I don't know. We're at the Lincoln Avenue crossing east of Sayville for train 8772, Babylon Patchogue. He's got DE30AC 423 on him with a K5 LLA horn. We'll get him accelerating out of the station. Time is 5:57. Snow is still falling lightly here. It's been snowing all afternoon, but not too hard, and the roads are still passable, although some of the secondary roads are starting to get a little coated with snow. All right, we move further west. We're at the west end of the Islip station at the Nassau Avenue crossing, waiting for train 8774 en route from Babylon to Patchogue. And the snow is still coming down. It's been a great day though, just wonderful. Going out and rail fanning the Montauk Ranch in this winter wonderland. One great thing about shooting video in the dark when it's snowing, the snow has a way of making it look brighter than it normally would be if there was no snow. Okay, here comes 8774 at 6:28. Well, now I'm further west between Islip and Bayshore at the Brentwood Road crossing, waiting for 8743 from Speonk to Jamaica to pass. And he'll have, oddly enough, he'll have an engine on both ends. And you're looking at the eastbound position light signal here. And at 6:49, approaching westbound is 8743. This is the same equipment that went east on 8736 that we saw at Irish Lane earlier. You're getting a good look at the eastbound signal S410 as the gates on Brentwood Road are going down. Well, time is now 7:13 p.m. We're at Bayshore now. We're sticking around for one more train today, and it's a good one. Train 8715 en route from Montauk to Jamaica. He's got a K5 LLA sandwich. DM30AC 509 on the west end and 504 on the east end. Definitely had to stick around to see this one. Somebody live up there? You can hear him. He's already past Islip. Not much wind. He's blowing for Brentwood Road now. He should be blowing for Panattaquit. Got these two women standing out here yapping. One of them's got a glass of wine in her hand. Awesome.